Yeah, thanks to everyone. So welcome back to this amazing session. So this entire demo session, I'm going to talk it in the two ways or two sections. One is we are going to talk it like the part one, what is the generative AI and how that is going to help us in the next, in the IT career, as you are the fresher, or if if you'd like to start about your own the passive income, or if you'd like to start about your enterprise, the business entrepreneur point of view. Yes, all these opportunities point of view. So how the generative AI is going to help with that is the first point we are going to talk at that. Second part, so very important part. So how the curriculum has been designed. So how we are going ahead to achieve that successful journey on this generative AI. Yeah, instead of saying this generative AI, we can call it like as a AI engineer. So what about this? I'm talking about that the old AI engineer. We are going to talk about that new AI engineer program. But what about this old AI and a new AI? What about this like next generation of the technologies? So all these points, if you would like to know that, you should have some patience to understand all these concepts, and you should attend this today and tomorrow also. This is a 2 days agenda program. If you just attend the today, you are not going to get it anything. We need to attend that's 2 sessions. Yeah, let me start it. The first the session. So that's which I'm going to talk it that about AI. So first we are going to talk it about AI. So what is this the AI and what is like the era of this we have this from the last 30 years or the 40 years. The first we should know history, right? Before going to jump into this next. The career. So what about the history and what are the challenges that we have this in the history, the challenges, how it can be overcome this in the next generation. If you always think in that way, definitely we are always going ahead in our IT career. So one of the formula, what do we have this is keep on updating that or upscaling about our skill set. Then only we can sustain in our current market. So if you'd like to sustain, so definitely you have to be. Yeah, so we need to keep on update that. So that is the main point. Yeah, let's start about that. So what is this AI? The old AI and the total 2 sections, old AI and new AI. Yeah, so this generative AI developer. So before going to start talking about it, so the main instructions, kindly mute about your microphone or the mic until there is a need of that to discuss it. Definitely we give the time. So we'll talk about it. And yes, you don't need that like a webcams, but if you're okay with that, yes, you can turn off. That's not an issue. And if you have any questions or queries, we have the dedicated time on it, the question and answer section, where we will address all the problems over there. In the meantime, please use the chat window to communicate any queries. Yeah, sometimes maybe I miss it that, but I'll come back and I will review that all the chart. In the chart, what are the questions we have? I will review it and I'll come back to you. Fine. So there are some instructions before starting this today's agenda. Let's start AI engineer program. So we're talking about it AI engineer program. So this is going to the helping us in the next generation. But what is that like AI engineer is? So what are the program we are going to learn it about, or what are the program we are going to discuss? This is the unique program which we are going to look into that. Definitely we can say. So unique program. So which is going to make you an expert in the markets, the most promising area. So like especially which we can say AI engineer program, there's new era of that. Yes, that is going to helpful. One of like, more opportunities to get it in the market. So what are the expertise skills required? Those are all the things we are going to cover that in our course curriculum. So how to apply AI in the business world? Yeah, as I was talking about it. So if you are looking about like a job point of view, or if you're looking that's about entrepreneur point of view, or if you're looking about it passive income point of view, already we're working that in particular technology. But you have to keep on updated with the latest the technologies and the latest business strategies. You should know it, right? So then only we can sustain long term. But maybe temporarily the job which you're working, it is going to, yes, fulfilling that about our needs. But whenever you look at about that next generation, so everywhere if you see this AI. So in the business world, yes, like if you go to that, like any field about that marketing, or if you go to the healthcare domain, or if you go to that like automobile, so wherever you talk it about that, AI is going to play that important role. That's why we're talking about it. Business needs also, and how to build the most potential AI application. Suppose if you're looking at the job or engineer, IT engineer, or if you would like to plan to change about your career from, yeah, your transition that one skill set to that another skill set. Yes, next generation of that application which we are going to have it in the market is AI applications. And if you are going to understand about that this program, then we can get that opportunities as a AI engineer in the IT market. Yeah, with this program, so we'll boost about our career and join that elite of professionals that prepared to make the most of about our time's greatest revolution. Yes, this is next generation of the technology. That is the name itself is in the generative AI, but in this next generation of the technology, so how or what are the different opportunities we have? So that is I will talk it more whenever we start the course, and in which field and each field wise this AI, how much percentage it is going to have that impact, and how much percentage we have that like a market the opportunities. All those points I'm going to talk at that once we start that like the course. But today agenda is what is like a generative AI. Next yeah, that like a decade of that AI we are going to talk at that. Already AI we have this from the last 30 years in the market. It is not just started, but we are going to talk about that next 10 to 15 years, whatever that like AI which is going to coming into the market, that's AI we are going to talk at that. Yeah, so let me ask the some questions and check that answer is it yes or no, which you feel you belong to that. I want to become the master in the next decade of the huge demand technologies. If you say that yes, this program is for you. Or I want to change the career but making the transition is challenging. Obviously, right? So like already we have that like cool job, and from the cool job and you are stepping into that like I mean, or you are taking about it like some challenge to transition about your position. A lot of challenges will be there, but that challenge how you can overcome that. Yeah, that is we are going to deal with that. Or I'm the fresher not getting the jobs due to lack of expertise on the technology of the position. Yes, current market, some kind of that's like a dry market. But in the dry market, also still there is a possibility to get it that opportunities. That is on the Python, especially if you're the fresher, the Python, and as well as, and if you're coming into that, this AI engineer, then you will get that the very good opportunities. Yeah, so if you are going to have it campus recruitment and everything, so where do we see this these days common campus selections, right? So last 2 years onwards there is no market. But yes, so if you're going to having this kind of like a python with kind of like this LLM based applications implementation, we are not going to talk it the Python that is something full stack or back end or front end. Yeah, those points that will be helpful, but Python we are going to apply that with a different technology that is about LLM based applications. As a fresher, they are going to looking that who knows about the Python to give the training on this LLM, or if you know this already, this AI based the some modules from the Python, then that is going to help in that. Yeah, I want to earn passive income as I was talking about it. If you'd like to do that, if you have some time on the weekends, and if you'd like to the perform as a freelancer on this AI technology. So yes, so this is a course which is going to help in that. Yeah, applying the AI services for the customers. Yeah, AI tools wherever you see that AI. But how do you start it about the career, or which tool I need to learn it, or which way I need to go for that? We have that's like a data science engineers in that. I mean, yeah, the data science engineers, and in that AI we have that like a different machine learning or a deep learning or AI or a generative AI. Which one I need to learn it that? So a lot of questions in the which is going to raise it in our I mean in our brain, right? You are going to get it all that I mean, all those questions related answers. Are you clear these points? Type that yes in the chat window if you're following that me. Or meanwhile, if you have that any queries, just let me know that. So use the chat window and let me know that quickly. Yes, yes, getting it. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Awesome. Awesome response. Thank you. Okay. Pursuing MCA first year. Yeah, Nagalakshmi. Yeah, fine. Good. Yeah, good. So that's about like before going to start about that, talking about that old AI and the new AI. So we are going to step in. Just imagine about your thoughts, like or about your attitude has to be okay. I'm going to moving into that next generation of that technologies. So have that mindset, and whatever I'm going to talk it that. So think in that way and try to apply that. Then that will be definitely helpful. Instead of trying to understand what is this AI, and wherever we talk it like the first keyword we are hearing this in the IT world, AI, right? So forget about all the things and try to understand that. So what is the old AI and the new AI? Two sections. Then we will get that more clarity. So you are going to move into that old AI or new AI engineer. Already, if you are like doing some specialization in AI, maybe in your MCA or in your engineering, but that AI, okay, will be helpful. But are you going to get that the chances? Yeah, definitely you are going to get the chances on that as well as. But if you are the too much specialization or too much master on that particular the modules in the old AI point of view. But new AI, everyone, even if you are a non-IT background or even if you have the IT background, yes, you can get that. So we have the code-based tools and no code-based tools. Yes, we have this one of the friend like who has come from non-IT background. Yes, no code-based AI tools are also available. If you're going to concentrate on that, definitely you will get that opportunities. Okay, so let me talk about that evolution of the technology. So which we are going to understand that 1990 to 2000. What was this evolution of the technology in this era? 1990 to this 2000. It was mostly that like a programming has come out of that, right? Object oriented programming and the internet based applications. Yeah, Java especially. Python was also started almost in this era, but Python was not that much famous. But during the time, Java.NET, the object oriented programs was rocking that in the 1990s to implement that internet based applications. Now, Y2K problem has come up with that during that time. So, more recruitment. So, on the specialization, especially Y2K. And Java and C++ gained popularity, yes, in this. And Python and new programming languages also. Yeah, Java and .NET based applications more popularity, but Python also there during that time. So this decade was crucial for the programmers' development and laid the foundation for the future advancements. Yes, actually, the web-based applications era, that's the internet, what all the applications which you are using now, that is a distributed applications, that is internet-based, which you are using the HTTP protocol. Those applications were introduced in this era. So this was the decade which we can say, yes, that is internet-based application was started. Before also was there, but it was like some mainframes and yes, like a bigger, I mean, yeah, large computer using about it, but there is no distributed, but actual distributed and internet-based application from the 1990s. That was the era. Next, 2000 to 2010. Anyone was there here? Which type of applications you are working that? 2000 to 2010. Okay, anyway, let me continue. So it saw this rise of internet, fine, and mobile devices. Yes, mobile the applications was implemented, and the social media platforms also has come into the market. So before, okay, internet based application has come up, but more into that, each like, I mean, the people who are in that, like, the world, to each and every member that the IT world has is, I mean, that was very neat to that each and every member through that mobile based applications and social media platforms. Yeah, and as well as virtualization also. Infra point of view, the virtualization, cloud computing, big data analytics. So this was the era during this time, that is 2000 to 2010. Okay, good. So that is virtualization concepts, cloud computing. Cloud is, yes, AWS was started during that time, but not complete cloud computing, but virtualization was the main era which we can say this 2000 to 2010. But what about this 2010 to the still date? Which kind of applications was leading the market? Sorry. Yeah. So 2010 to the still date, if you just observe that, the rise of the cloud computing has revolutionized the making that remote work and collaboration is easier, right? So before it was working that in the data centers, but now in this era, remote work and collaboration and container-based applications, that is Docker, Kubernetes, has come into the market, and serverless architectures, that is API-based applications, are more into that. And artificial intelligence and machine learning have also had a significant impact in the market. Yes, last 3 years, 4 years, if you observe that, yes, AI, ML, these kind of that languages has come into the market. Yeah, so this is about the overall last 30 years of this industry, and each decade, if you just take it about it, so there is some specific the revolution in that decade, right? 1990s to 2000, yes, the distributed applications, and 2000 to 2010 virtualization concepts with social networking and mobile based application, that was like a boom. And next from the 2010 is last especially 8 9 years, if you just observe that, cloud computing, microservice based applications, serverless based applications. And if from the last 2 years or 3 years, yes, wherever you hear about it, AI, ML, these kind of applications in the market. Yes or no? So are you clear about these points? Are you following that? Type that yes in the chat window quickly about your attention to know that. Yes, 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 yes. Good, good. Awesome. And any queries, questions also, just let me know that. Okay, that was, we are just understanding that. How was that last 35 years? So each decade we have the something which was yes, rapidly affected in our the IT industry. Each the 10 years almost approximately, if you just observe that, yes, every 10 years something is changing that in the market, right? As a simply if you just talk it that, and if you are in the IT industry, yes, initially who are there, and if anyone asks you that, like, who are there, the 20 plus years of that, or 25 plus years of, they were working that in the mainframes, and they were working this in the Java technologies. And mid of that, they were in that, like, mostly VM administrators, or like data centers administrators, or storage administrators, or database administrators. So that was era between that 2002, that's 2010. And the last 7 years or 8 years of this the market, if you ask this anyone, so who are working that on like either big data side, or like cloud computing side, or Docker Kubernetes, or the DevOps side, or AI. So this is overall the conclusion of that, the technologies, how the market is rapidly changing about it. Now let's move into that about AI. Yes, especially now we jump into that about AI. AI evolution. How many of you have seen this the Robo movie? Rajnikant's the Robo movie. Oh, good, good. Gayatri Santu. Okay. Trailer and teaser. Okay. Fine. But what is, I mean, so if you just quickly, okay, you have seen that. Fine, good. Yeah, so if you just, I mean, observe that movie, what was the behind the story? So what was like first, the Rajnikant was training the robo, right? So he has one data center where he has set up that's everything, the machines, and yes, wiring system, and he was given the training almost 10 years or 12 years. I didn't remember exactly the years. So first he was like taking this one data center. This was investment. So first he was training that complete robo. Some stages was there. So to get into that complete robo into that as a human being or human intelligence. So how the human can think it, or how human can take the decisions, or how the human can predict that the current the situations, all those things, it has been given that training to that one machine, right? So after giving the training, that machine has come up this as like the human being, where it can perform that like on the basis of the current situation, or like current requirement point of it is going to responding that, right? Like as a human being, which we can say that this is artificial intelligence, like how the human can think it, and how the human can intelligent it. That is same way it has been trained to the machine. Simple, right? But it was taken that's some like a decade or more than decade also, that giving the training is not just one day. So first initial this machine as a child, so which are just like the born child, like where we give the training, right? Whenever she's growing up, we give the training. So each and every like word about a fruit side, about like yes, pet animal side, or whatever we have that like items, we are going to give the training. The same way the machine has been given the training. But whenever you are giving the training, if you give that all the inputs, all the data, if it is that the positive way, then the robo will respond, giving that the response also the positive output. So if you give the some input, and it takes that input and it process it, and it gives that the output. If you give that positive data, then it gives or it responds as positive way. Or if you give that like a negative data, then it responds in the negative way, right? Yes or no? That is a picture of the robo, right? Do you remember these scenes? Yes or no? Are you getting the points? My points. Simple. Now, if you just apply that, the same approach to that, AI is not just started. Before getting started with the new AI, I'm going to talk it as a generative AI. That is generative AI instead of that new AI. Before getting started with the new AI, it was there already. That is about artificial intelligence. And as well as we have that machine learning in the market. But machine learning is the subset of the artificial intelligence. What about all these things will come back? It is like as just like we have seen this robo movie. First, given the training, given that complete intelligence, how the human can think it, how the human can take the decisions. The same way it has been trained that the machine. Even if you just think it like about as a human being also, by birth we don't know anything, right? But by while growing that we are learning the things. So first 4 years or the 5 years where we learn the some things from the home itself. Some of that, like yeah, some of the things. Then we'll start about the school, lower grade or the higher grade, and then intermediate, and then engineering. You are doing that. Something you are moving that. So first knowing that all the things, then moving to that specific into that. Suppose engineering you have joined into that computer is nothing but you are going to become the master on the computer. But in intermediate, and what about the 10th? 10th, all the subjects. Because you should know that everything. But whenever you are moving to that specific into that technology, that is a deep learning, right? On the particular area. So no, if you just general way, if you just think about it, intelligence mechanism, we are giving that all that inputs to the machines. Yes, we are training the machines, and those machines into the specific field, that is the deep learning that with more algorithms and fine tuning. So different techniques applying here and getting about this like a detailed learning. Yeah. So if you just go for that one by one, what is artificial intelligence? So and what is like machine learning? What is the deep learning? So before going to know about that latest AI engineer or new AI engineer, you should know these 3 points. Just keywords. We are not going to learn it like machine learning with algorithms and all that. No, not required. Because that's already done. And deep learning, yes, we have the specialization people. So, but we are going to look into about that new AI next 10 years or 15 years or the 20 years, how that the market is going to have it. That is a new AI. But let's understand that what is artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. Are you clear these points? Are you following the points? Santu, you raise the hand. Do you have any queries? Please let me know. Okay, good. Yeah, ML is for the updating the data. Yes, giving that more the data and getting the training of that like machine. Yeah, I didn't talk it to the clearly. I'll come back to that. All those points. So what is the AI? What is ML? I was just talking that the words. Yeah, now let's move into that one by one. What is AI? What is the machine learning? What is the deep learning? So artificial intelligence wise, if you just talk it that, yeah, the like human intelligence as we are talking about it. Yes, we are taking the one machine. Suppose now, like if you go to that like automated. the driving system. Automated driving system, how it is working that? It has been trained in such a way that using the sensor and detecting that the current objects on the base of this, the distance, and using the Google map and identifying the route and going this, right? That has been trained. The human, whatever he can do that, the same way it has been trained to the machine, and now the machine is doing that automatically. That is intelligence. Yes, that given the training, like our machine converting into that, like as a human, how he can think it, that is about AI. Yeah, the computer system should be able to perform tasks normally requiring human intelligence, such as visual perception or speech recognition. Suppose Alexa, whenever you speak it or whenever you give the commands, so then automatically it identifies about your command and it responds that, right? A visual perception, like as about auto driving cars or decision making. Yes. So I mean, on the basis of the current the situation or current data, so on the basis of this data, it has to take the decisions and the translation between the languages. There are some examples. So the human intelligence, whatever we have, that is giving the training to the machine, that is visually, speech, decision wise, and translation. So it is just like thinking about it, the 1 year, the kid, how you're going to give the training, like whenever the watching about it, okay, which image identification, suppose you have that like 10 dogs or a dog and cat, which one is a cat, which one is a dog, giving the training, right? That is visually knowing that object, and the speech recognition, decision making, these are all comes under that AI, like as a human intelligence. So that was in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. It is not just started AI. Yeah, it is kind of the giving training to the machine. How the machine can think to take the decisions, or how the machine can understand that the speech recognition, and as per the speech recognition and giving the response back, that is command based, and visual languages understanding. Yeah, these are all like training models. That is about first AI. But next, already artificial intelligence all around us, like self-driving cars, or if you go for that spam filters in our the email, that is on the basis of the label, which is going to identify is it required to move into that inbox, or this mail is required to move into the spam folders. Spam filters, that is identifying on the basis of the label system. And as well as, yeah, email, whenever it comes to that, machine learning model is going to identifying that whether it can be moved to the spam or not spam, or email classifications, or fraud detection in yes, like banking sector or in cyber securities. If you just observe that fraud detection, yeah, already we have that. I mean, it has been applied that artificial intelligence in some of the areas. Yeah, are you clear about that? How got the picture of that AI? AI is simple, like as giving the training to the machine. How the human can do that visually, and yes, like with I mean, listening that and understanding this and taking the decisions point of view, how the human can do that same thing, giving the training to the machine, like robo movie. Yes. Next, coming to the machine learning. What is the machine learning? Yeah, artificial intelligence is not enough. That is the main objective. How the machine can be, like in all those areas, how that can be trained. But how do you give the training? But whenever you are giving the training, you should give that lot of data, right? Data is the main input. So on the base of that input, like suppose whenever I ask you this question, like about as a human being, if you just talk it, generic question, like I mean, it is coming to the specific to that particular point. But if you just ask that, what is a capital? If I ask you that, what is a capital? But we is it a state-related capital or is it like a I mean the country-related capital? Which one are you are asking that? You should have some specific scope, right? Context is very very important. Without giving the context, if I ask you this, if I ask you like what is the capital, then about our mind and about neurons, you just like, oh, he's asking that on the state level or he's asking this on that like country level. About neurons are moving into that like it cannot come up with the decision making, right? Yeah, that's good. But if I give that like directly, so what is the capital of India? Then we have the context already. Okay, so he's asking that to the country level, especially in that country also India, and within that India, he's asking that's the capital. Then about our neurons, if you just think about it, it can think it of it on the basis of the context, giving the response back. That is giving that output. But how that neural networks are working that in our human being, whenever we are thinking that same way it has been trained by using that the algorithms, fine tuning algorithms, tuning algorithms, that's entire training, we can say that machine learning. I got my point. So if you just think it like artificial in general thing, what is the capital? That is general thing. I cannot come up with that answer. I cannot take the decision of that answer, giving that. But if you mark it of India, then context is moving to that more into deep. Yeah, we have that the so many countries. From that country, you are asking that so and so India's country related capital. Then about our context, about our scope is the very small. And we are going to get that more fine tuning output over there, tuned output over there. So that is about machine learning. If you just talk it in the generic terminology, I'm just giving that generic way. Yeah, machine learning is making the prediction. So like if you just talk it like goal is make a good prediction. But like suppose whenever we are typing this in the keyboards, we always see that like if I just type that, I mean, you are planning to type that hello, but whenever you type that HE, automatically it populates that related words, right? That is a prediction. Maybe you are going to use it that hello or something. It doesn't know that, but it gives that all the possible words. That is, we said that the prediction, possible options. What are the possible options? We have that. Yeah, goal is making a prediction and give inputs to a model. Yes, give inputs to the model. Then model returns the prediction. But how the model is going to return the prediction? So it is going to use it internal algorithms to tune it and to give the better output. Yeah, inputs, what do we call that in our machine learning terminology is the features, and the prediction is called a label. So whatever we are getting or whatever it is returning that's we say that the label. Yeah, features are the inputs we will give it, and machine learning model, so which has been tuned, it is going to take the inputs and it is going to using that algorithms, and from that outputs, whatever like fine tuning the outputs which we have that is a predictions, that predictions it is going to give that as an output. Are you clear about this? Suppose house price prediction model. But house price, how do you predict it? That is on the base of the city. Yeah, label we are planning to get it, price. But what are the features? What are the inputs you need to give it? So total area of the house, number of rooms, and number of bedrooms or furniture. Is it furnished or not? And which floor is that? How many years? And which area is that? And is it on the balcony or not? Is it on the garden or not? All these points that will be taken as an input, right? They're all the inputs to that, the model. Then model, but how the model is going to give that after giving that all these inputs also? But that model already should be trained, right? You should give that the lot of input data, sample example data you should give it. So it is going to use that example data. So okay, total area of the house, suppose 1000 square feet, number of rooms 2, and number of bedrooms 1, and furniture not furnished. So all those inputs, if it is already trained from that training model, on the base of these inputs, it is going to give that the output finally given that the price. Even if you just think about in our like before example, if I ask this, what is the capital of dash? But which country you are going to ask that? And as well as whatever the country you are going to ask that, I should train that on it, right? Suppose if you ask that something like Singapore, I should know that output. I mean, I should know that answer. Then only I can give that output, right? That means already I need to train it. Then only I can give that answer of it. So that a training model is machine learning. Are you clear about this? ML models. So ML models. So this it is going to use that huge amount of the data and examples. Suppose you are talking about that house price prediction model is nothing but if it is belong to that like India, suppose magic bricks kind of that application. The magic bricks application is having that in all the areas. That's sample data, right? So that sample data, if you give that input, then which area you are asking that, and yes, like what is the area of that house and how many number of bedrooms, is it garden or is it furnished? On the base of those examples, then it is going to predict that the nearest price, and ML model is going to give that the output was this is the estimated price on the base of the inputs which are given that. But this model has to be trained, then only you will get that output. That is about that training, we can say that machine learning. So here we have the dependency on the algorithms. Because whenever it is going to tune the data, we have this entire throughout world, we have this the data, right? That's like suppose you are going to look in that in the US, New York, in so and so place. That means the data should be available in that model. Otherwise, you don't get the response back. Are you getting the points? Yeah, machine learning completely on this example data or existing data. The way it will be trained. So which is going to take the features and it is going to give the labels, that is outcomes. So normal, suppose if you talk it about like even suppose magic bricks application, if you just take it, whenever you are going to give that all these inputs, but it is giving that output, right, already. Then what about that's one, and what about like machine learning now? That's already defined in our website application. If we choose the location and area and everything, we are going to get that output. That means someone has given that the data, the back, that application is designed. Suppose if I'm going to sell that my house, then I need to log in and I need to enter all the details. And if you're going to buy that, then you are going to get my details, right? Plot details. That is input and output, but programming approach. That is a programming way. But machine learning is not the programming. Machine learning is going to use that existing data. Yeah, traditional program based on the rules. If this, then do this. Example, predict price of a home design, an algorithm taking all factors into consideration: location, home size, age, condition, market, economy. But in the machine learning, learning from the examples. It is not the rules. Give millions of the examples. That is the main the challenge which we have in the machine learning. From last 30 years, we have some data, right, in the market. Already we are using that websites. That website, suppose you are logged into that one banking portal, is nothing but, yes, that banking portal is having the data. We have that huge amount of the data. That data is the input. I mean, which is going to take the input, and it is going to processing about it and giving that output. Suppose from, I mean, if you just observe that about our the human being, the career phases, by this time we have learned so many concepts about our, the mind is small, but it has taken the so much data, right? In your LKG, UKG, then 1 to 10 intermediate, like a PG, or like, I mean, the degree, whatever we have done. See how much data we have taken that. From that data, whenever you are going to the job, then you are applying that whatever you have learned in your total this career, you are going to use that knowledge, and you are going to apply that. Are you getting my point? Same way, now on the internet we have that huge amount of the data through blogs, through wiki or forums. So public data we have that, and in our companies, is each organization and its application is having its private data. Private data, okay, leave it up there for the time. That is the next point. But public data, if you just search it in the Google, suppose you need to learn that some concepts, and if you search it in the Google, you will get it so many documents. I mean, so many blogs or so many forums. So those are all like examples of the data, right? Yeah, so taking the millions of the examples, create a model, use that model to make the prediction. That is about machine learning. But what is the normal traditional programming? Suppose if you are using the Java to implement one website. In the website, if else condition, okay, if that user entered the age is this, or user entered the location is this, house prediction, then the condition based, the logic, that is normal traditional programming. But AI, yes, it is going to work like, I mean, it is going to like work like as a human, but by taking that existing data. Yeah, that is about machine learning. Yeah, machine learning features and labels, that is inputs and outputs. If you just talk it, human brain, and within the human brain, how the neurons are working there. Same way, the neural network, all these are like input layer. Yes, it is give that all the inputs which are required for about your prediction. Then all the backend, these algorithms, algorithms are going to use it, and that millions of the data, tuning of it and getting that the better outcome, that is a better, that output, that is about the machine learning. So how the neurons are working that in our human brain, the same way the machine learning is going to use the algorithms to tune the data and to get the better output on the base of the inputs. That is about ML. Are you clear? Yeah, so if you just quickly go through some examples, used car price prediction model. So this is, I mean, this model has been designed is nothing but they have given the training, all that like used car, like what are the different models of the car, what is like, I mean, is it the SUV type or hatchback type? So we have the different models, right? All that it has to be which year model is that, which engine type is that. Is it low level or high level, high end model? So all that, like giving the training and getting that the prediction model. Price and features is manufacturer or year. Yeah, they're all the inputs which we can say. And if you say this is spam email classification, label is mocking, is it a spam or not? But what are the like inputs? Who is the sender? What is the subject? What is the content? So on the basis of this feature, and it is going to that like mocking, is it a spam or not? Like that, grant a loan model. Yes, so the particular person has been applied that the loan, should we grant the loan or not? Now these days, no manual work in the process. Before, whenever you apply that the loan, there is a manual process. But now, on the basis of about your CIBIL score, on the basis of about your the current age factor and about your current salary, which you have that, automatically the system is going to giving that initial prediction whether it can be given that within the seconds. Where these days we are getting this right, loan can be approved or not. There are all the features that is taking and it is given the label. But backend it is using that granted loan model using that AI approaches. Yeah, does he's have their own car or own real estate or credit score? Is it married or not? That person, he's have the children or not? Total income, total credit. So all these inputs it is going to take it, and on the basis of the inputs it is going to predict that whether it can be loan allowed or not. They're all the best examples where that ML model given the training and getting that the prediction outputs. Yeah, finally, if you conclude that ML, a lots of training data plus computational power plus algorithms. All this together, which we can say that machine learning. But machine learning is subset of artificial intelligence. This was also there from the 1970s to that up to 2000. Parallelly, we are concentrating on only internet and these application. Okay, fine, but artificial intelligence and machine learning is not started today. That was given the training, all the models. We have that huge millions of this data on the internet. Now the data they are using that and they are creating the models, prediction models. Already we are seeing this in our keyboards. Yes, whenever you are typing the keyboard, first letter if you type it, then it is going to give that options. Are you going to enter that next which word? That is a prediction. Already given the some inputs for that. So from that data, whenever you type it, so it is going to getting under top 3. It is going to display the top 3 or top 4 words. It is displaying this in our keyboard, right? Just imagine that, how the world is moving that. Okay, that is about ML. Are you clear about this ML model? Type that ML in the chart window. AI and ML, if you understand this, these 2 points. So type that AI and ML. AI and ML. I would like to see this more response. Simple word. AI is just like a human intelligence. What is that? ML is model designed, but a model to designed not like normal structured programming. They are not using the structured programming like which you are using. That's about Java or .NET. But how these models are designing? Input is the data, but that data to tune it internally they are using the algorithms. But those algorithms to execute it on the huge amount of the data, then you need to have that huge computational power, right? Yes or no? Just to run that one small database, you need to have that like that 8 GB or 16 GB or 32 GB capacity of the RAM. But thinking about it, you are giving that the huge amount of the data, like where on the internet, if you try to collect that all the data on like examples like yeah, so just talk it like any example, yeah, price prediction model itself. You have that huge amount of the data, all the data you need to take it, and on the data you need to apply the fine tuning models, that is algorithms, which best algorithm is going to helping that. That is machine learning engineering is going to learn that. or a data scientist, he is going to learning about it. So he has a huge amount of the data. On that data, which algorithms that can be applied, and how do we get it that best optimization techniques, or how you can get that fine tuning models. That is about ML engineer. Okay, so that is about AI and ML. Next, we have this one more keyword to learn it about that. That is deep learning. What is deep learning? Where it is going to help in that? Yeah, if we just move into that, the deep learning section, this is also one more subset of the machine learning. Suppose simple, if we just talk it like once engineering has been done, you are going to do the PhD. Why do we need that PhD? Already you have done that like engineering level or like the PG level. Again, why do we need to go for the PhD? You are going to get that more R&D in the specialization, right? Deep. The more into the deep. Yes. As machine learning has come up with the models, but from that models, like in the specific field or specific area to get into that, the more optimization techniques, that is about deep learning. Yeah, already we're talking that inputs give it, and model is going to using the solve algorithms and processing about it and giving the predictions. But what about this deep learning is? Deep learning is they have this internal different models. Discriminative models and generative models. So what is like, discriminative models and generative models? Yeah, suppose here if we just talk it about the task, classification or prediction. Yes, already we have this in the machine learning prediction, price prediction model. And as well as a classification. So trained on the label data. Suppose here in the like a loan application form itself, if we just observe that, a loan has to be approved or not. First, some criteria will be taken, high level priorities. What is the age factor of that? If the age is less than something 24 or 22, then they don't, they don't accept that the loan application, or 18 or something, whatever the condition you have. That is somewhat labeling system they are using about it to get the prediction. Is he salaried, or is it like a self-employed person? So these are all some classification they are going to take it, that on the basis of the classification, they are coming up with the prediction. But in the generative, there is no specific labeling option. There is no specific labeling option, but this is a discriminative. Here itself is saying that discriminative, like trained on label data. But here, what about the generative models? We have the generative language models and the generative image models. So suppose the name itself is saying the generative is nothing but generate new data trained on similar data. Yes, use that existing data and tune it and generate new data. What is this? So if I give that some text, some input, and it is going to use that input and it is going to identify that some existing, suppose if I just search it in the Google, like what is a DevOps? Simple. Or what is generative AI? Or what is like a AI? If I just search it in the Google, then what is the response we'll get it? Google, it shows that like a 10 pages or 20 pages, right? I need to click on that each link, and where is that best answer is available. I need to look into that in 2 or 3. The URLs, then only I will get that better result. But if it's a generative model, if I say that what is DevOps, or what is like generative AI, or what is AI, if I just ask that, it is going to search it in all those 10 pages, and what are the best answer which is available, that answer is going to giving the back. I don't need to go on each and every URL. Okay, so what is the best answer? Is it available here or is it available here? No, I don't need to look into that. I'm going to save my time. It is going to give the more productivity. Like example, ChatGPT. If you know already the ChatGPT, if you just type that, what is generative AI? You don't need to use the Google. You just type this in the ChatGPT. It is going to give that like a direct answer. It is not giving the links where you again like click it and go there and look at the answer. Right? Are you getting my points? So generating the data trained on similar data. Yes, it is going to take the inputs, but on that inputs, so it is going to fine tuning the data and it is going to generate a new data. That is about generative AI models. You can apply this on the text based, or you can apply this on audio or images or the video. Yeah, predict the next word in the sentence. That is the best example. Our chat GPT is the best example. Yeah, discriminative models, as we're talking that these are all the label based. Yeah, music, suppose best example, if you just take like in the music, that music data, if you open that like any one of the music channel, like type of music, if you go to that, we have that rock type or classic type or pop type, right? There are the classification which you are doing that on the music data. If you have that 100 songs, you are going to create the separate playlist, rock type or classic type or pop type. There is a classification based, but you are using that existing data. Existing data, you are just discriminating that. But the next one is generative models. If we just talk it is going to use the music data as an input. But generative models, what they are going to do this is, it is going to generate a new song for us or new music for us. Are you getting my points? So that is the generative models. AI, which we have that machine learning. Within the machine learning, we have the deep learning. Within the deep learning, we are talking about the two models, discriminative models and the generative model. These two are helping about the prediction. But in the prediction, discriminative models are working that label based. Yes, you can take the existing data and you can mark it some label or some classification. You are creating the playlists. That is about your classification, about your music. But if you go to the generative models, that means if you ask that chat GPT, not just chat GPT, we have those like different products. So if you give the music data and using the generative models, you can generate the new music. See the beauty of that. That is a creative world. So who are more into the creative world? Or who would like to do this more, yes, like self, yes, self tools implementation or like a new kind of the productivity generations. Yes, now they can use these generative models. But the generative models are using that existing data. From that existing data, it is going to generate new kind of the data. That is the beauty of the generative models. So from 2000 to the 2010s, if we just observe that deep learning with the discriminative models and the generative models has come up this into the market. Generative model best example is ChatGPT, one of the tool. You are doing the magics right now with the ChatGPT. Is it going to helpful that in the businesses, especially in the marketing field or content creators field, a lot of opportunities, and it is giving the better productivity, 10 times better productivity with these generative tools. Yeah, finally, if you conclude it, all these models, artificial intelligence is having that subset, that is the machine learning. And machine learning, yes, this is the giving the training and it fine tuning algorithms and all that stuff. But machine learning has come up with that, the internal subset, that is deep learning with the discriminative models and the generative models. Descriptive models, like, yes, creating the labels on that, the existing data for the classification. But generative models are doing the magics in the current market. These are all going to helping that as a creative world, a new world to create it that. But the generative model, if we just talk it, already these models internally is using this, right? That means already this era, whatever we are talking that 1940s to that 2010 or 2020 up to that. So already these are all given the training. Now we have the transformers ready to use it. GPT, what is the GPT stands for that? That is one kind of the transfer, right? Transformer, right? But yes, who has given that? OpenAI has designed that transformer. I will talk in some history about that OpenAI. What about that? Whenever we start the course, which type of the technology they have used internally to design that the chat GPT. Like those kind of applications, are you going to implement or not? I mean, if you are going to learn that to implement those kind of that the transformers, like a kind of the GPT for about your clients, for about your yes, within that organization, that is the next generation of the technology or not? Yes or no? Are you getting my point now? Are you clear? So type that the CLR in the chat windows if you understand all these points. Now you have the transformers which are working that's like the back end. But how do we use those transformers? And if I have this my private data, for my private data, how I can use that transformer to generate new ideas for my business using my existing data, and I will give the model to my existing data and getting that's new ideas or a new kind of as business models designing that is the next generation of the technologies. That is, we say that LLM based applications, large language models. If you're going to learn the Python with a Django framework or Flask framework, you are going to work for the website based application, web applications. Web applications, already we have this from the last 30 years in the market. But what is the next? Instead of learning that those web application implementation using the Python, we are going to learn that using the Python, how do we implement LLM based application, these large language model like chat GPT based application, how do we have those kind of application, how do we implement it? That is about our course agenda. That's in the next tomorrow session, we are going to understand about that. What is this generative AI? And in this generative AI, like already you know that example of the chat GPT best. But what about the course curriculum and that course curriculum to complete it, the time and everything? Tomorrow I will conclude it. And what are like the different models we have this training and internship programs. We have the two models, those two models to understand it. Yeah, so tomorrow we'll understand this generative AI and the generative AI based applications to implement it, what are kind of the frameworks from the Python, and those frameworks, how we are going to learn it in our course curriculum with the complete placement program assistance. That is, I will conclude tomorrow. Is it clear to everyone? So we are not going to learn that like all the algorithms not required. Don't worry about it. Already someone is doing that. So we reuse it. And now almost each and every company is looking about it, AI based applications. Web application, everyone is having this now in the market. And they have the data. They have their business data. That business data, using that, how you are going to define that the prediction models. That is about next generation of the technologies which is going to rocket. That 1 decade we can take it. I cannot say this, okay, this is going to have this 20 years, 30 years, maybe the technology is rapidly changing that. But in that technology, last 30 years, yes, we have the web applications and we have the AI, ML and all these applications. Yes, transformers are the ready. But using those transformers, like in the marketing field or like in the healthcare domains or in that like automobile industry or in the education industry, or I will give that all the different fields as a part one completely. We are going to talk it that how the business entrepreneurs are going to, I mean, yeah, AI is going to replace that in each and every field, the impact of the AI and AI, how they can use it that in their companies in that particular area, or even if you are the non-computers also. So if you are interested on this the IT side, you can do that about your own the job mechanism. That is, as an entrepreneur you can start it, or you can start like a freelancer jobs, or if you have this eligibility, yes, you can join this in so and so company. Like SaaS based application implementation, that is one of the like the main the kind of applications we have in the market now. SaaS, everything is, I mean, infra is ready. We have the ready-made clouds and we have the ready-made deployment models with the CI/CD approaches. But in that CI/CD, if it is the machine learning kind of application, some tuning, training models, we need to add it in the model. That is ML ops model, machine learning models, which we are going to help the data scientists. Getting the point? So we have the two approaches. If others already experience on the DevOps or something, then you can move into that ML ops, where you are going to help the data science engineers to define the better CI and CD models if you know already DevOps. Or if you're the fresher or yes, like looking for that, yeah, new transition into this next generation of the technologies, that is, you can look into that LLM based applications. Like how we have that websites designing in the current market, the every client needs that website, right? If you are going to start that business, first you need to have that designing one web application, or even for about your portfolio also you need to design one website. Are you getting my points? Like that, how we have the importance about the website on the internet to give the better customer support, better customer service in the next generations. LLM based applications are the mandatory from the AI models. That is LLM application. Yes, we are going to talk about it. Yeah, that is a conclusion for today. And tomorrow we'll conclude about that overall the course and course agenda and what is this generative AI. Yeah, already you got it some points, but yes, what are like a different frameworks we are going to learn it, and how the course curriculum and how the training program and how the internship program, all the details for that. So wait for tomorrow, because I cannot conclude everything today. Yes, that's all from my side for today. So any queries, questions, just let me know. And how do you feel about this, the concepts? Just let me know quickly from each one of you. Our AI topics will cover in DevOps plus MLOps training. So you're asking that a DevOps plus MLOps, right? Yeah. So like in this generative AI, first we talked about the development, MLOps development, like LLM ops. But LLM ops we have that, or ML ops we have that. Yeah, that like DevOps and ML ops training, if you have that like experience, and we try to give it that. But first you need to learn that LLM application, that is a generic one. But once that's LLM application has been completed, Then we'll cover about that ML ops also. But in the generative AI application itself, we'll include that some of the DevOps tools. That is the Jenkins. Instead of talking to the Maven, here we will talk about it LLM based deployment approaches. That is the one thing. Yeah, if you know that already DevOps, yes, you can join directly the generative AI. Then you will get it ML ops over there. Then you don't need that DevOps separately. But we will cover that some of the DevOps tools whenever we are working with that LLM application. That is a new AI engineer. So old is about AI, ML, or deep learning. There's already we have this in the last 30 years of the market. But next to get it more demand, or if you like to become the see, so many AI agencies are coming into the market. So if you have this already, the plan into to start about that, the agency on the small, you don't need that like the big the company, small, where you can start it with the 3 or 4 members, or from our batch itself, you can group together 3 or 4 members and you can start about that agency. If you are that about your creativity mind, and in which field you are good and to provide the service for the people to give that the chatbots or to give the support on these AI implementation using their private data. Lot of demand. Are you clear my points? Type there yes if you understand all these points. Yes, good. I see this. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. So it's really nice. Yeah. Anyone having any queries, please let me know that.